Now, what have you learned? You have 4 daughters.
Yeah, all girls.
All girls. I have all girls also. I have 3
Me too.
girls.
When you're
how
the
many girls do you
father
have?
of 4?
4. You have 4. Okay, we have 11 girls.
When you're the father of
boys. You guys
boys,
know anything about women yet?
When you're the father of boys, you worry. But
Yes.
when you're the father of girls, you pray. For I was once a boy.
Well, I don't know. My girls,
they're beautiful.
They're beautiful, and I worry for the boys. Not
worry
the
for
girls.
the boys. I worry for the girls.
I worry for the boys. These girls are going to just chew up these guys and spit them out because their mom is like a pretty strong woman herself. And I think that in my case, I don't worry about my girls. I'd like to think that we brought them up in a way that they'll be okay.
Your girls are older? Or, you have a 12-year-old and you all the way
12,
up to like 30 or something,
19,
right?
29, and 32. And they teach me a lot. And they give me advice about music. They talk to me about trends and stuff. And I listen to what they have to say. I mean, I'm just get out there, sing and dance, and talk to Mick and talk to to Peter, and we decide about what we're doing. And they see a show and they say, "Dad, that was great," and they give me clues. And I go and speak to Mick, and I speak to Peter and the band, and I'm just mimicking what she's told me to say in a sense. But they know.
They know. And how old
mine are 32, 19, 17, and 16.
When we grew up with the Monkees and we were filming the TV show, every Sunday we'd go down to the park, Micky and with his family, me with my family, and we'd play baseball with Alice Cooper and a lot of other people, and we'd have a game, and it was like competitive, and that was the that was the thing we'd done Sunday. We'd go over to Micky's pool, and we'd go swimming, we'd spend the family afternoon. It wasn't all show business. It wasn't all about Monkees. We did have a real life, things that we did together.
Occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, it was very difficult, and it is very difficult being sort of in show business, and you've always got to be on. And as far as Micky and Peter and Mike and myself being the Monkees and being a family act, it's a tremendous responsibility. And we are always being looked at, no matter what we do. You don't read about us. You've never seen any there's all kinds of stuff going on in our personal lives, I'm sure. The same with Micky. But, it's very difficult being Mr. Nice Guy all the time.
Yeah.
When we do it, we try it because there's people watching and there's people taking examples, especially kids.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I was just going to say, I kind of look at it like I'm a caretaker of this property, of this image. I'm not Micky Dolenz of the Monkees. He doesn't exist. He's an imaginary character that was on this TV show. And I think it gets very, very dangerous if you start believing, for any entertainer, if you really start believing that you are Brad Pitt or you are Davy Jones of the Monkees.
You become better looking, you become more
That's where insanity comes from. That's where insanity comes from. That's what people in mental institutions start thinking they're Napoleon, or people on the street, who are drunk or something, starts thinking that he's Superman. If you start really believing that you are that person, you're in a lot of trouble, because then you lose all sense of reality. It's the road to insanity.
I think
if you somehow maintain that distinction between your person and your persona, that's very difficult to do. And if you lose the battle, if you lose that particular battle, you're out of luck. I
think being show business kids, Micky having his own series.
Is that what you learned growing up?
Yeah, I think that I intuitively, I don't remember being taught it, but I think my father was very level-headed, first generation Italian. He swam from Europe, in the 30s, and became a movie actor, after going through World War I in Italy, and so he was real level-headed. We didn't run with any of the Hollywood people. He had a ranch in the valley, and so I think that did help enormously, because I kind of fell into the business following in his footsteps and saw it just as a business, and they were very, very level-headed.
To me, it's no different than the school play. I honestly can say that. I don't feel famous. I feel the way I did when I was 12, 13 years old. I was captain of the cricket team, the football team, I was on the boxing team, I was a runner, and I really do not feel any different. People say to me, "Hey, you look just the same." I said, "Well, I'm glad I do." But I'm not. The hair, maybe old and grey, but there's still a fire burning in the grate, you know what I'm saying?
How does a band stay, or group of guys stay together for 35 years? What is the secret?
Well, in our case, I think it's been very interesting, because there's never been, since 1967, there's never been a Monkee organization or a Monkee Enterprises or Monkee Management, or there's never been this organization that's kind of kept these fires burning. What happens usually is that a promoter, a producer, an agent, or someone will detect in the marketplace some need, and they'll call each one of us up individually. This is traditionally what's happened over the years, and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. Do you want to go back on the road as the Monkees?" And depending on our availability and on our mood at the time, we will each say individually yes or no. And that's how it's always happened. And the upside of that is that usually it's because there's a demand. So whenever we do go out, it's because there's this grassroots kind of thing, rather than us every year, year after year, us out there trying to shove it down people's throats, trying to push it and trying to get it to work. And we've been fortunate in that sense, is that we've not had to be out there. We've all had solo careers, different levels, and we've not had to be out there every year trying to beat it to death and like beating a dead horse. It comes to us in a way, like it did in this perfect example, this month of touring that we've just done. This promoter said, "I think there's a market out there, guys. I think I can make you this much money. I think we can do this many dates." He called us all up. I said, "Yeah, I can do it in March." Davy said, "Yeah, I can do it here. I can't do it then. I can do this day." Here we are, and the proof is in the pudding. It's, again, a very, very successful run.
There's an old Zen saying about you don't chase life, you allow life to come to you.
Yes.
Right. And so now you got this great tour. So is this going to develop some momentum or additional interest in touring as the Monkees?
I think so. For me, it is. Yeah.
It appears it has. Yes.
June and July, we're talking about going out again and doing parks and fairs and Disney World and MGM Grands.
Maybe recording again.
All that stuff. But now here again, we get Micky makes a joke on stage occasionally. He said they don't throw their underwear anymore; they throw Depends. But we do have 12, 13-year-old girls
Depends.
that still come and still have remembered us from that particular old TV show, and they see these guys up there that are like 35 years old, and they were, but it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Well, like cartoon characters. You know how Mickey Mouse never gets older. 40 years has been Mickey Mouse. It's a little bit like that, that we've been very fortunate in that sense, is that we had this television show, unlike a lot of normal groups, shall we say, that didn't have that kind of a visual connection for years and years and years. We had that enormous visual connection and he's absolutely right. The other night, sitting in the front row, 4 little 12 or 13-year-old girls that all had on these Monkey Men costumes like we used to wear on the show, and they screamed for an hour and a half.
Whole show.
Everything that came out of our mouths was like, "Hello, cucumber."
That's what he did. He said,
amazing.
He said, "Look, excuse me, but watch this. Cucumber. Wow."
And we could get very lazy doing that, because it'd be very easy to just sit up there and dial it in and go through the numbers and then walk off stage. But I think, to our credit, we have always been very, very careful to really keep the quality and keep the intensity and really work at it to keep it up.
Micky, I got to go. Thank you so much. And you guys are going to be an institution forever. I can see that. Dave, Micky, thank you very much.
Great to speak
See you guys
to you.
next week.